Hello everybody, Jamie the Board Game Man here, and today we are going car racing. This game is from the year 2017, plays 2 to 6 players, it's by Restoration Games, takes about 30 to 45 minutes to play. It is called Downforce. Now in this game there's two different phases. You've got the auction phase, which you're actually auctioning off the cars, you're trying to purchase the cars you want to drive in the game, and then you also have the racing, and you also are betting on cars throughout the race. How you race the cars is by cards that you have in your hand. And the fun part about, the best part about this game is you're not only moving your cars, but you're moving your opponent's cars as well. That's what makes this game a blast. So let's race on over to the gamers table and I'll show you how to play Downforce. Okay, everybody, here we are at the gaming table, and here is Downforce. Here is the board. Obviously, it's a racetrack, and it is double-sided, so there is another track on the other side. So once I'm done, I'll go ahead and flip it over, and I'll show you what the other side looks like. You also have the score sheets, and they give you a pretty good amount here. There's the score sheets for the game. You also have speed cards, you have the power cards, and then you have these little driver plaques, which after you win the auction for that color car, you actually place this in front of you. That way you know which car that you own for this race. And of course, the star of the game are the little race cars that are in here. And you just randomly put them out there once the race begins, and you put them on the yellow arrows, and then we start racing. And that, my friends, is the components of the game. So let's go ahead and set a couple of these aside. We're going to go ahead and show you how to set this up here. We're going to place these off to the side real quick as well. And here we go. So what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and take out the 6-8 cards that represent each color of the race, of the cars, okay? And what you're going to do is you're going to place these right here. You're going to shuffle them up and put them right here, and this is where the auctioning phase begins, okay? All the players will be divvied out even number of cards in the game. So at the end of that, you're going to have cards like this. You're going to be kind of holding up the card. You can see they have different colors and whatnot on them. I'm going to go over those right now, okay? So after you divvy out all the cards, if there's any remaining ones, they go in the box. And now we're going to begin the auction phase. What you're going to do is after you shuffle these up and after you shuffled up the power cards, you're going to go ahead and show which car is up for auction first. This one is orange. You're also going to take the power card, and place it there too. So you're actually bidding on both of these items. So right now you're bidding on the orange car, and you're actually going to try to get this power card. Now let me go over a couple of these power cards, just kind of let you know what these are about. And some of these you might not know yet because I haven't shown you what the cards do yet. But on this one it says, on your turn, you may move the cars in reverse order from lowest to highest. Okay. Then you have a couple other ones here. If you play a speed card with all 6 colors on it, you may ignore one color on it, which I'll go over that stuff in 1 second. So each one of these gives you some kind of power you can use throughout the game. Okay. All right, so let's start the auctioning phase. So right now we got the orange cars. So all 3 players, we'll just say it's a 3-player game, are going to look at their cards and you're going to try to determine how much they want to bid, how many in millions of dollars do they want to bid. Now this is something you want to remember because throughout the game, you're trying to make money. So this is where you're putting yourself in the hole, okay? Because you're purchasing the car. So you want to put yourself too much in the hole where if you win or you place bets, which I'll go over, it's a very integral part of the game. You don't want to pay too much for your car because it's going to calculate at the very end all the winnings versus how much you paid for your cars, okay? So let's just say we had someone bid this, this, and this. Now what you're doing is on these cards, you're looking at the color with the corresponding number on it, and that is how much you're bidding on the car, okay? So, for instance, player 1 wants to bid $6 million for his car. Now, this player here also bid $6 million on his car, and he bid $4 million for that car because you're looking at the orange color, okay? Now, if there is a tie, okay, let's just say there's 2 players that bid $6 million. The one with the most amount of lines would win, okay? So see, he has 4 lines here with the 6, so he would actually win that car. This one has 6, but there's only 3 lines. Okay, so that's what happens there. Now let's just say there is a tie. And what do we do now? We have this player with 4 lines 6. We have this player with 4 lines 6. The player without the wild line would win that auction. So in this case, this player will win it as well. Okay, so that's how that works. Okay, so the 6 here, they both have 4 lines, but this one has the wild. So with them one without the wild would win that auction. Okay. Once you would win that auction, say player 1 won that auction. Okay. So what would happen was player 1 would get this card here into their stack. Okay. Also, they would get this power card as well. So they would take this power card, put it in front of them. All right. And then you would also give them the orange plaque. And that way they know that they have the orange car. They are the owner of the orange car. And then you go ahead and go on to the next car. This is blue. You're going to go ahead and turn over the next power card and so on. Then you would do the same thing. You would go through your cards and let's see who wants to bet. Let's say player 1 bets 4 million for his. He says this guy only wants to bid 1 million. And then this player bids 5 million. So obviously he would win the blue car, the 5 million. Now, once you win a car, you're going to go to your score sheet here, and where it says auction price, you're going to go ahead and put that number right there. So, for instance, in the orange, he bid 6 million. So, orange, he would put a 6 next to the orange. Same with blue. Say the player that had the blue car, the one that won with 5 million here, next to the blue, he would put 5 right here. So, you're going to put how much you paid for the car to the left of right here where it says auction price. You're going to put that there. Okay, that's where that section comes into play. Now let's just say that everyone has done their bidding. And let's just say, let's go ahead and get these out of the way. That way I can show you how this works. Let's just say player 2 got this player, and player 2 also got black. And let's say player 3 over here ended up getting the green car. And let's just say player 1 ended up getting the yellow car. Okay, with this power card. And then this player over here got 3 cars over here. Okay, you can have as many cars as long as there's opportunity for other players to get it. So let's just say there's 6 cars total, and say the first player got the first 4 cars. He can no longer bid on cars because there's one of each that can have to be bid for the other player. Now, in this game, there is a chance that somebody might not own a car, and that is okay, but you better be very good on the betting, which I'm going to go over, and trying to get your team to win, because it's going to be very tough not to have a car in the race, because it's going to be you're really going to have to deal on your betting in order to get even there. So it's going to be pretty tough to not own at least a car in this game, but it is possible. It is possible you might not have a car in this game. Okay, so let's just say player 1 over here has 2 cars. He has the yellow and the orange. He's going to have the yellow and orange plaque, which I'll go ahead and put the plaques aside because you know how to do those. Now what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and you're going to keep these 2. And in your stack of speed cards that you have in your hand, you're going to add these to your hand. The 8 cards. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put these in your hand. So these add back into your hand. Okay. Now, if you say you have multiple of these power cards, you must choose only one to keep throughout the game. So if in this case you got tricky and cunning, you have to choose which one of these to keep in the game. Let's just say he wants to do, he wants to keep this one. So he goes ahead and keeps the tricky, and then this one goes back into the box. Okay. Same with this player here. He has 3 cars. So he's going to go ahead and put these 3 into his speed cars. Okay, into his stack of speed cards he has. And then he has to only choose one of these to keep. Let's just say he keeps the aggressive, and he goes ahead and puts these back in the box. This player only has 1, so he's good to go. So he has the green. He's going to add that to his speed deck, and then he's going to go ahead and keep that power card. Okay? And there you have it. So there is the auctioning phase. Okay? Once the auctioning phase is complete, everyone's going to have your speed cards in your hands, and you're going to go ahead and get ready to race. You're going to go ahead and place these on the arrows, like so. And the one that has the number 1 here with the checkerboard, that's going to be the first place car as of right now. Okay, here we go. So I'm just going to go ahead and take their stack of speed cards, and as you can see, you have numbers and colors on each one of these. Okay, you can see. All right. What you're doing is on your turn, you're going to decide, and of course it always depends on which cards you have. Like, for instance, this player has orange. Let's say this player has yellow and green. Actually, this player has green, so we'll let this player have green. Okay, he's going to have it over there. And then this player, let's see, has yellow and red. We'll just say this. We'll just say that for now. Okay. So orange, let's see, I have another one too. Let's say I have orange and blue. I have 2 cards here. So I'm going to go ahead and look and see how I want to move these cars. Now, I'm not only moving my cars, but I'm moving the opponent's cars as well. Each one of these represents a car and the number of moves you're going to move for that car. If it's a wild, like for instance on this one, you can move any colored card except for the color that's on the card. So for instance, you have a wild 5, you have a blue 2 on here. So this 5 wild cannot be for a blue car. Okay, it can be any other color that's on the board. Okay. All right, I think that's pretty much, like for instance, this one here is a 5 wild and a 2 black. Obviously, the wild can be any color but the black, because the black is on that card. Okay. All righty, and there's another example. So you got this one here has multiple ones. You have a red 6, black 4, green 1. Well, that 2 is wild, but you cannot use that wild towards those 3 colors because they are on the card. Okay. So let's just say, for instance, he's going to say, okay, I'm going to go ahead and use, this is a good one for player 1 here. He's going to go ahead and use this card. Blue 6, orange 4, yellow 2. So what he's going to do is he's going to go ahead and place this right here. You can probably use that as the discard pile. He's going to move his car 6 spaces, the blue car. So he's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? So he's going another turn. Next one's orange for 4. So you can go 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the yellow, he's going to move 2, 1, 2. Even though that's not his car, he still moves that car. Okay? And that is the end of player 1's turn. Now player 2 is going to go through their speed. Oh, let's get these out of the way. There we go. He's going to go ahead and go through his, and he's going to determine he has red and yellow. So he's going to try to see, okay, what will benefit him the most here. I think the best one he has right here is probably this one here. So he's going to go ahead and play this one. So he has a black 6, a red 4, and a yellow 2, and an orange 1. So what he's going to do is he's going to place this here. He's going to move the black 6 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then he has red for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yellow is 2. 1, 2. And then orange has 1. Now, what you can do in this game to go around people is you can go diagonally. So you can go, let's just say this is the deal here. Okay. Let's just say red is trying to go through. You can go diagonally through it. So you can go boom like this and go through that way. Okay. So you can go diagonally and continue on your way. Problem is, if this happens here and this happens here, you can't drive through these because now they've blocked off this area. So that'd be a good opportunity if your opponent has yellow or red to use if you have a yellow or red card. Let's just say you have, let's see here. See if I can show you a good example like this one here. Red 6. Okay, and red's not your car. That's a great opportunity to use this because red cannot move 6. He can't move at all, actually. He's stuck behind here. So when you say red 6, nothing happens because he is jammed in this turn. He cannot do it. Now 4 would be next. You always go in the order that's on the card. You start from the top and work your way towards the bottom. You can't skip around. Always have to start from the top and work your way down. Then you got black as next. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wild, you can use any color that's not on here. So let's just say he wants to move his yellow 2. You can go 1, 2. You can go diagonal. The only things you cannot do is go side to side. And you obviously can't go backwards. You don't race backwards and you go side to side. You always have to be moving forward or diagonal. Okay? No sideways, no backwards. Okay? So that's what he can do too. And then green would move 1. Okay? And that's how that works. Okay? So you're racing along. And all of a sudden you come across the yellow stripe. Once you cross the first car that crosses that yellow stripe, let's just say they got the cars here, we've been racing, and this is what we're looking at, okay? What you're going to do, as soon as you cross that first yellow stripe, everyone's going to go ahead and take down. They're going to take their pads here, And they're going to try to guess, bet number 1, which car you think is going to win the game. Okay, it's going to cross that finish line first. I know it's pretty early in the race, but that's the gamble you make. So you're going to try to figure out, okay, who do I think is going to actually make it all the way to the first place? So you're going to go ahead and make a check mark next to that car you think is going to win for bet 1. Okay? Then as you're racing through, as soon as you cross the second yellow line, you're going to go bet 2. And you're going to go and check mark whichever car you think is going to win the race. And then once again, as soon as you cross the third line, then you're bet 3, you're going to try to bet which car you think is going to cross that finish line first. Okay? Alrighty. Now, you're playing your cards, you're getting through. Sometimes if you're falling behind or you want to gain a lot of ground, that's a good time to use your 8 card. That 8 card is just you only, and it's 8 spaces. So that's a power card, I guess you could say, that you have in your arsenal there. Is if you feel like you're kind of falling behind a little bit, you need to catch up, or you're kind of ahead, but they're kind of creeping up behind you, you can use that 8 card and go ahead and use it and go 8 spaces, and it's kind of like a little power card, I guess you could say. So that is in your hand that you can use when you won the auction. Remember, we put this into your stack, so you're going to have this in your stack, okay? And you can use it anytime you want. So let's just say we race through the 3 yellow lines, and now we're coming to the finish line. Now we're coming to the finish, okay? Let's just say black came in first, red came in second, yellow third, orange fourth, blue fifth, and green sixth. Now sometimes it might even be possible that your card might not even finish. There has been times where the card does not finish. It might just finish right here, but it just never makes it. It does not place, okay? Same with this. Say maybe 2 cards might not have finished, then you only have the 4 cards that place, okay? That is possible. It has happened. Not too often, but it does, okay? All right. So let's just say this is the deal here, okay? Obviously, we have blue and orange that are the players here. You have red and yellow over here. This is the green player. And now and no one got one of these cards. And that is possible. Maybe someone doesn't want that car. Maybe there's a car in there that they just don't want. They don't want to bid anymore. They've already got 2 cars. They don't want to bid anymore. That's possible that there might be a driver that or there might be a car that has no driver. That's possible too. Okay, so here we go. So now we're going to go ahead and go back to our score sheet. And you're going to go ahead and place where your car landed. So if you landed in first place, you get $12 million. Second place is $9 million, $6 million, $4 million, $2 million, and nothing for 6. You're going to go ahead and circle the cars that you have. Like for instance, orange came in 4th place, so I would circle 4 million. The blue car came in 6th. I would not get anything for that. For the red player, they scored 2nd place. So red would go ahead and circle 9. Yellow came in 3rd. They would get 6. All right, and that's how you would do that. Then what you would do is you would look at the betting payouts. Okay, so you're going to look back here and say, okay, I bet on the blue. Where did they land? Oh, they came in 6th. So I don't get anything. Okay, bet 2. Who did I bet in the second bet? Oh, look at that. I bet the black car to win. Well, then you would get $6 million for first place. Bet 3. Who did I bet in that third, when they crossed that third line? Who did I bet for? Oh, I bet for red. Well, they came in 2nd place, so you would circle the 2nd place right here. For 2nd place for your third bet is $2 million. So what you would do on the bottom, the racing total. It's going to show the racing total here, okay? So the racing total, okay, is going to be right here. You're going to add all these up, whatever how your car's placed, and you're going to place it right here. Then you have your betting totals. So you're going to add these up here, and you're going to place this here. The auction total obviously is going to be minus how much you how much you bought your cars for. You're going to place this here. So you're going to add these two together, minus that, and this will be your total points for the game. And whoever has the most total winnings at the end of the game wins. And there is Downforce. Now let me go ahead and show you the other side of the board. That way you can kind of check it out. Go ahead and, sorry cars, I'm going to put you in here real quick. I'm going to go ahead and get all this off to the side so none of this gets all messy here. Let's take it all off. I think we got everything. Let me go ahead and flip it over so you can see. This is actually up and down, where this one goes left to right. So you see it goes like this. So that's pretty cool too. You got some waterfront property there. You got some water here, and it's really cool. This is actually a pretty nice one. And you can see there's a lot more turns, a lot more cutting off people. You can see a lot more backing up here, a lot of single lanes, single lane here, single lane here. So it's a little more difficult on this side. So the beginner side is the side I showed you on, and this is one that's a little more brutal, because you're cutting people off, or you can bog up an area while letting your other car kind of take off. There's many things here, but then again, other players can move your cars too, so they can actually move them as well too. So, but that's the other side. This is Marina Bay on this side, and then you turn it over here, and it's River Station. So, but yeah, that's pretty cool. I know that you can go to Target, and I think they have another version of it as well that you can get. That I believe I think that's double-sided too. I believe I don't have that one, but here you go. So this is Downforce. I hope you liked it. I know I love this game. Let's head on over to the gaming room, and I'll give you my final thoughts. All right, so my final thoughts on Downforce. You know what? I absolutely love this game. This game is a great game. Especially, I think the best part of it is definitely laying down the cards. You're moving your cars, and then you go to move your opponent's cars, and they get jammed up in a corner where you can't even move their cars. So you're wasting spaces for them. That is probably the most frustrating part, especially when you're that opponent and you can't move your car because you got a jam and a corner there and you can't get through. But everyone else is using those cards with your colors just because you can't move them. So that's probably the best strategy in the game. And when you're betting on the cars, you don't really have to bet on your own car. I mean, if you think, you know what, green is way out ahead and I think he's going to win, that's what you got to do. You got to bet what you think those cars. And what's cool is you have 3 different sections that you're betting on the car, because things can change between a couple turns, and all of a sudden a whole new different car could be out front, and you're, oh, you know what, I'm going to bet for him. So it really comes down to the betting. You really got to take kind of that chip off your shoulder that you think your car is going to win, because it might not. And that's okay, because if you bet for that car to win, you're going to get some decent money for it. So, and plus you get money too when you get in the land in first, second, third place and whatnot. But it's really hard when you're placing a bet on a car and it's not yours, because you just don't think it's going to make it. That's the part that's really kind of cool, and you're kind of twisting with your emotions going, "Urgh!" But it's a great game. It's easy to learn. It's fun to play. I definitely give it a thumbs up, of course. And also, if you enjoyed the episode, if you can give me one of these too, that would be wonderful. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. And until next time, everybody, happy gaming.